What's up, guys? Nick Domingo here. I'm here today with Greg Lambricht, the CEO and founder of Single Point and Single Seed. I've got Greg on the phone, and Greg, I know you're really excited about the CBD craze. It's happening. Right now everyone's talking about it. Anywhere you read, it's basically CBD this, CBD that. People are really interested in hearing more about the benefits of what CBD does. Can you talk about yourself and what Single Point and Single Seed does?
Yeah, so Single Seed is actually an online site where we're selling over 40 different CBD products, and the majority of them are labeled Single Seed, so they're actually our brand, and we do carry some other brands. Also, Single Point is very heavily involved in what we call the Pure American Hemp cigarette. It's been interesting just in the last 6 months. It's kind of, most trends seem to start in California and head east. This actually started in the South where people started smoking hemp, and it's been pretty amazing what's happened. And it's really interesting also in the fact that a lot of people have kind of weaned themselves off of nicotine, and they're now smoking hemp, and getting some of the benefits of hemp as far as relaxation and less anxiety and that. So those are two of the main things that we're kind of focusing on in the CBD space. The other thing is in a previous life I took a distribution company public on the NASDAQ, so certainly we're utilizing my expertise and contacts to get CBD into retail.
That's interesting. Yeah, you mentioned the hemp cigarettes. That's something that I know you've been talking about now for a few months. When we met you, you kind of described the feeling you get from smoking the hemp cigarettes and how it kind of relaxes you. Can you kind of describe why the product is, in your opinion, no pun intended, you're so high on?
Well, yeah, I can. And one of the things, a lot of people don't know about CBD is CBD does not work in everybody. In fact, a lot of statistics out there, or the common thread out there, is that it works in half the people. So some products work better than others in people as well. For example, the creams seem to really work well for joint pains and stuff. The thing about the hemp cigarette is that it really works in almost everybody, and you immediately feel what people have described CBD should feel like, and that is a little bit less anxiety. Because quite frankly, the smoke is immediately going right in to your lungs, so you're getting an instant high, no pun intended, and that's the CBD high.
Interesting. Yeah. So I know there's a lot going on right now with vaping and some of the incidents that have gone on, unfortunately, in that space. Is that why you think hemp could be the next big thing for people who are trying to quit smoking, give up nicotine, and find something a little bit more natural?
Yeah, that's right. It's interesting. Back in the day, there's a brand that came out of New Mexico that was kind of more of a less nicotine and less additives, and it's called American Spirit, and pretty amazing that they've been able to compete with the Philip Morris and R.J. Reynolds of the world, a small company out of New Mexico, but with that concept of less additives and more natural tobacco. They've just blew up across the country, and now they're in every store you can imagine. So I see a very similar scenario with the hemp cigarette, where you're just smoking pure hemp. There's no nicotine, there's no other additives, and I think that's a huge advantage to people that maybe only smoke 5 or 10 cigarettes a day, but if they can switch to hemp, and which does not have nicotine in it and is not addictive, could be a huge swing. And I'm excited about that, and also I'm quite frankly excited for that number of people, making the switch is what we call it, is a big number, and we want to be a part of that.
All right, Greg. So I know you're also going to be down at the NAC conference in Atlanta this year. Can you guys talk a little bit about where other people can find you and get more information on not only Single Point, Single Seed, but also the hemp cigarettes you talked about?
Yeah, so the show we're going to is called the NACS, the NACS, and it's the National Association of Convenience Store show. There's 340,000 convenience stores in the U.S. This is a show that I've been to, 20 straight years, and we think it's perfect timing to unveil, if you will, our Pure American Hemp cigarette. So we're very excited about going there, and the booth number that we have where you can come find us is 5653. So we're very excited about the show. We think that it's perfect timing for the buyers to put the hemp cigarettes in their accounts.
That's great. That's great. And then final question really for you would be, what's your presence going to be down there? What are your expectations to try and get this information out, not only about Single Point again, but about pure American hemp cigarettes?
Well, I think what's happened is, the CBD has been kind of a grassroots movement the last couple of years, and it's really spread by word of mouth. And as more and more products come into the market, more and more retailers are feeling comfortable, putting them in their stores. Of course, obviously it helped that, CBD was passed by the Senate and the House and the administration, so it's federally legal. But as far as the hemp cigarette, it's just perfect timing, and I have to say this. Back in '96, I took a cigar distribution company public on the NASDAQ, and we came out at the NAC show, and man, we had people standing in line for an hour to just talk to us to get cigars in their stores. So we put cigars and humidors in 30,000 accounts. And this I see is the same type of timing where these buyers and these CEOs of these large chains are actually going to the show to find hemp cigarette for their accounts. So we're very excited, and I think the timing is going to be phenomenal for Single Point and the Pure American Hemp cigarette.
That's awesome. Well, thanks again for taking the time, and of luck with everything. Guys, that was Greg Lambrick, the CEO and founder of Single Point and Single Seed.
Yes, well, thanks for having us on the show. And of course, we are a public company, and our ticker symbol is SING, S-I-N-G, and go Sing.